Hi everyone, this is Chloe Zalembo for Wayland Sports Broadcasting. Today the Wayland Warriors are playing the 20th ranked Grafton. Currently, Wayland is ranked 18th. Wayland currently has a record of 4 wins, 3 ties, and 4 losses. Although they have less wins than Grafton, who has 8, they are ranked higher in the MIA Division II power rankings because of their strength of schedule. The last few times that Wayland has played Grafton ended in a loss. Last year, they lost 2-0 in the regular season, and the year before that, they lost in the first round of the playoffs. The current leading goal scorer is senior captain and Bates College commit Zoe Middlestead. The other captains include fellow college commit Jackie Rainville, who's going to Williams College, and goalie and senior Annie McQuilkin. Let's see if they can lead their team to a victory today. Back to Michael and Luke in the studio.
Hello, everybody. It is a beautiful Saturday morning here at Warrior Stadium. Today's matchup, as Chloe told you, is between 16th ranked Wayland and 21st ranked Grafton. The game should be a good one, as it's a very tight as it's very tight in the rankings, and as it's very tight in the rankings between the two teams, and this game has major playoff implications as playoffs start in just a couple of weeks.
Wayland will be looking for revenge after losing the last 2 years to Grafton. 2 years ago, they lost in the first round of the playoffs, and they took a 3-0 loss last year. Coach for the Wayland Warriors is Edmund D. Horatius. He's kind of a jack of all trades. He doesn't participate in just soccer. He also participates in swimming, Latin, and English. So.
Also known as Mr. D to a lot of Wayland students. But yeah, we're nearing kickoff today. Temps around 50, so a little bit on the chilly side, but I think, all things is on a cloud in the sky. I believe this is great soccer conditions, and both sides are looking to eke out a win and, climb the rankings. So here we go. Grafton has it in their side. They'll control the ball. A couple Wayland attackers are closing in. Grafton works the ball backwards. It's a through ball up to the midfield, which is deflected by Wayland, and it'll go out of bounds for a Grafton throw-in. Grafton controls the ball around midfield, and it's stolen by Wayland as a through ball up to Umina. And that's Mealy who's going to lose the ball, and Grafton has possession and kicks it back to their defenders. Grafton's going to throw a nice lob ball up to the right side of the field, which is going to be intercepted. It's going to be Rainville on the left wing, working her defender. She's going to beat her to the ball. Working on the left side, has it in for Umina, and it's going to be deflected. And it races to the ball, and Grafton's going to kick it out of bounds for a Wayland throw-in. Very aggressive, unlike Grafton. Grafton was very defensive when they first got the ball. Wayland pushed it up very fast. Wayland throw-in, it's going to go deep into the box. It's going to be deflected by Grafton. It's a scramble for the ball. Wayland's going to come out on top. And Grafton's going to steal the ball and have a through ball. And I believe that is going to be offsides on Grafton. So it's going to be a Wayland free kick. Grafton's going to intercept the free kick, and it's going to work up to about midfield, where number 11 is going to lob it down the field, and that's going to be McQuilkin's ball. She calls off the defender. McQuilkin, 4-year varsity starter for this Wayland squad, so they're very confident in their goalie, as she has so much experience. And as I say that, the Grafton goalkeeper is going to boot it up to midfield, and then one's going to intercept the through ball in. Good chance by Middlestead, but I believe they're going to call that offsides. Grafton's quick to get the free kick off. It's going to be settled, closed in on about 3 Wayland defenders. Going to kick it back. Grafton makes 1 minute miss. up the sideline, and it's going to be stolen by Wayland. Good defensive play there by, I believe, Maeve Moran. And Rainville's got it up the sideline. She's working on her defender. She's going to go outside. She's going to cross it into the box. Good chance there by Rainville, just over the top of the crossbar. Wayland very aggressive. A lot of attempts. Yeah. So Wayland gets their first shot on net, with 3 minutes into the game. So it's looking like they're going to have a lot of opportunities this game, as that ball is stolen by Mealy. And Mealy's going to cross it into the box to Middlestat. And, to Rainville. Rainville's going to work on her defender, cross it into the box, and that's going to be scooped up by the Grafton goalkeeper. It's going to slow the game down, let her team catch a break as she punts the ball up to the 45. As Amelia's going to kick the ball back, Grafton's going to intercept, and that'll be dribbled out of bounds for a Wayland throw-in. All right. Grafton regains control of the ball, crosses into the middle of the field, makes one man miss. Grafton controls the ball, sends a through ball up to the 20-yard line, and that's going to be scooped up by McQuilkin. McQuilkin punts the ball up to the 50. It's going to be Grafton intercepting the ball, throwing a through pass, and I believe that's going to be closed out by Melander and then punted away by McQuilkin. Grafton then regains control of the ball. Nice through ball to their center fielder. And that is going to be a through ball out of the... I think that's good. And that ball is going to go out of bounds for a goal kick.
Wayland seems pretty aggressive here to start off the game. They're looking pretty good against Grafton right now.
No, a lot of passes of Grafton are being intercepted. As a pass right there gets intercepted by one of the Wayland defenders. And Grafton's going to take a shot, and that's going to be blocked. Great defense by Wayland. And Wayland's going to push the ball upfield, intercepted by Grafton. It's anybody's ball here, and Mealy's going to push the ball, through ball up to, I believe, a Grafton defender who's going to kick it to midfield. Mealy heads the ball, and Melander keeps it alive, and I believe that's going to be a Grafton throw-in. Grafton's throw-in is intercepted by Mealy, and Mealy's pushed to the ground. That'll be a foul and a free kick for Wayland. Make sure, very eventful week next week for Wayland soccer, boys and girls. As the girls team will be having their senior night on that Thursday night, and boys soccer will be having their senior night Friday. As Emily's gonna take a shot, and that's gonna be wide left. But it is Wayland's second attempt on goal compared to Grafton's one shot that was blocked. So Wayland definitely has more opportunities throughout this game.
Yeah, Wayland's looking pretty dominant here right now. Grafton seems a little unorganized. Wayland seems to be taking advantage of that, keeping the ball on their offensive side.
So Grafton's going to control the ball, run on the left sideline, and that ball's going to go out of bounds for a Wayland throw-in. Melander on the throw-in. She's going to throw it deep into the box. Middlestat's going to try to control the ball. It's Melander again. Middlestat crosses to Rainville. That's a good pass, but it's intercepted by Grafton. As Grafton kicks up the ball. It's controlled by Wayland again. Mealy on the right sideline. Middlestat calls for the ball. She has it. Two defenders on her. Tripped up. And Grafton intercepts the ball. Mealy's fighting for the ball, and she'll win it back, passing it back to her defender. And Grafton will have the ball around midfield. That's Maeve Moran on the interception. And Mealy will try to cross it in. It's going to be blocked. She regains control. That's Moran again. She's going to, nice touch pass to Melander. Melander's going to cross it in, but it's going to be blocked for another Wayland throw-in. So the ball's staying on Grafton's half of the field for the majority of this game. And Wayland would like to keep it that way. And I'm sure McQuilkin would too. As Mealy's going to cross into the box, but it's going to find no one. And the Grafton goalkeeper is going to scoop it up and roll it to one of her defenders. Grafton's going to clear the ball up the right sideline, where it's going to find a Wayland body, and the ball is going to be in Rainville's control. She's going to work to the outside of her defender, pushing the ball up the field, past to Middlestat. Middlestat through ball, and that's going to be blocked by Grafton. As Middlestat's fighting for the ball back. Grafton gets the pass off. Nice through ball up the left sideline. They're going to advance. And it's intercepted again by Wayland. Emily's going to have the ball. Melander's going to come in to help her. And that's going to be a Grafton throw-in after Melander passed the ball out of bounds. Grafton's going to work up the left sideline, going to cross it back in. Olivia Umina is going to pass it back to McQuilkin. McQuilkin crosses it back into the middle of the field to clear the danger. And Grafton still working with the ball. Got to make do of the little opportunities they've had in Wayland's side of the field so far. They seem to be doing that right now, as they've got the ball around the 30-yard line, and they're going to kick it back to one of their defenders around midfield, working down the left sideline, switching fields, back to the center. Nice touch pass, but it's going to be intercepted and cleared out into Grafton's side of the field and all the way back to their goalie. Grafton's going to try a long through ball. It's going to connect, but I believe they're going to call her offsides. So it'll be Wayland's free kick. I know, but as I was saying earlier, really busy week for boys and girls soccer next week, as both are fighting for spots in the playoffs. Girls are 16th right now, and I believe boys are 9th. So both want to be as high as possible. Both want home playoff games. So to stay in that top 16 is crucial, and these next couple weeks of games are what's really gonna determine that. So definitely, you've got to be peaking of the season. As McQuilkin's gonna clear the ball back to the midfield, and I believe it's going to be a Grafton free kick after they called Alonji for offsides. Grafton's going to kick it up into the Wayland box. It's going to be Grafton ball working on the right side of the goal. And it's a good defense by Wayland, as Grafton's going to kick the ball through the back of the end line, and it will be a Wayland goal kick. Couldn't ask for a better Saturday. Not a cloud in the sky, and a whole lot of Wayland soccer, because boys are actually down in Ashland starting in about, let me check the time here. Yeah, boys will start playing at 12 in about 48 minutes. Playing against a divisional foe, Ashland, which will have great playoff implications. Hoping they can squeak out a win there. But here at Warrior Stadium, Grafton has the ball at midfield, working down the left sideline. It's a good pass into the middle, but it's going to be deflected by Middlestat, and that's going to be a nice through ball to a Grafton attacker, and she's going to take a shot on goal, and that's going to be wide right. So Wayland fans held their breath a little bit there, but the attack proved ineffective. So 13 minutes into the game, still 0-0. Both teams now with 2 attempts on net, but missing wide is a common theme for both of these teams, high and wide. So, not sure if they'll try for more hard ground shots, as that pass to Umna is going to find the Wayland track, and that will be a Grafton throw-in. As Umna pressures her defender, Grafton's going to pass it to the middle of the field. Alondri on the pressure. Middlestack comes to help, and she's going to boot it up into Wayland territory, and I believe it's going to be another offsides call. So both teams can't really get the timing on their runs right so far in this game. A lot of offsides, but usually that comes with the flow of the game, so I'm sure that'll decrease as this match goes on. But nonetheless, Wayland free kick. Going to boot it up the left sideline. It's going to find a Grafton defender as Wayland battles for it. Alondri seems to have control of it, and Alondri's tackled from behind, no call. A little bit of a surprise there. Pass to Umina. Umina's going to beat it to the sideline. Umina's going to cross it into the box, and Rainville almost there. Just a step off as the Grafton goalkeeper wasn't very aggressive there, playing a little bit passively as Grafton crosses it to the middle of the field, working on Middlestat. Has it in their field, going to switch sides to the right, back to their defender. Center back's going to pass it to their right back. It's going to be intercepted by Rainville. Rainville's going to work down the left sideline. Rainville's got a chance. Rainville's going to toss it to Umina, and good defense by Grafton. Umina almost got there. Lots of chances for Wayland, but Melander's going to defend against Grafton. It's a good sequence of passes as Grafton pushes up the field. Through ball is not going to find a Grafton attacker, and it's going to be sent back to McQuilkin by Melander. McQuilkin looking for somebody. Going to dump it off to Melander. Melander up to Umina, and it's deflected out of bounds by Grafton as one of our many helpful ball boys gets the ball out to Melander for a throw-in. And some substitutions here for the Grafton side and Wayland side as all right. Anyway, here's Wayland crossing it up down the field. Chance, but Grafton's going to clear it. It's going to be headed out to a Grafton midfielder. He's going to get it up to their left wing. He's going to make a move and beats a couple Wayland defenders, gets the ball out to the right wing, and that ball is going to be stopped by Katie White, another 3-year varsity starter for this Wayland squad. And that's a big, meaty tackle on the right sideline that I believe is going to be a free kick for Grafton. Yeah, it was meaty. I thought it was fair, but the ref thought otherwise. Awaiting the Grafton free kick is the Wayland defense as it's crossed into the box. Chance for Grafton here as McQuilkin is going to scoop it up, and I think McQuilkin took a shot there. That was a great save.
What a save by McQuilkin. She's been consistent for Wayland all 4 years. 4-year varsity starter, and that was a great play right there. As it seems she may have taken a shot. Hopefully she's all right out there. I think she's all right. Ref's checking in on her.
Yeah, all smiles for McQuilkin. I think she just caught an average cleat to the face, and she brushed it right off. So, love to see that. And Grafton, another time Wayland fans holding their breath there, as Grafton had a very, very solid chance at scoring there. But nonetheless, the game stays 0-0, and Wayland has the ball in Grafton territory. We're going to push it up the field, Rainville, and that's going to be closed out on by the Grafton goalkeeper. And it's with the Grafton right back as she pushes it up to one of her attackers. Working on this right sideline, Grafton has the bodies. It's going to be a through ball, which I believe is going to be settled down by McQuilkin again. So a lot of these through passes almost getting there. And I think as the game goes on, like I said, just timing with runs and passes, I think eventually we'll start seeing passes, very long passes get completed, as that will be a Wayland throw-in. As number 9, Marie Geronimo, the freshman, is working on the right. Oh, correct that. Looking at the wrong sheet. Marie Geronimo, the junior, has been working that right wing all day, and it's been in Grafton's territory a lot on that right side. As sorry, folks, a little technical difficulties here. Be right back with you. Oh. Oh. All right. All right. All right. A little technical break there, but we're back as Grafton's goalkeeper is going to punt the ball to midfield. Melander's going to fight for the ball. Grafton's going to fight for it, but Katie White is going to boot it up the sideline. It's going to be Wayland ball. It's still bouncing. Good pressure. Geronimo's going to pressure Grafton, and Grafton's going to kick it back to their goalkeeper yet again. Pressure's still on by Wayland. One's going to push it up the field. It's crossed back by Moran, back to Rainville on the left side. Rainville's going to work on her defender. She's going to cross it back to... Their cross back to Umina was intercepted, but it's back with Moran. Back to Wayland. Jill Mealy's going to work on the right side. Gonna try to find Geronimo. Geronimo's going to work her Grafton defender, and I believe that will be... she's going to call it a Grafton throw-in. Close there. Corner. Pressure's still on by Wayland as Grafton gets the ball up the left sideline, cross back into the middle of the field. Wayland pressure's on. As the Grafton goalkeeper is going to boot it out of bounds to the right side. So it'll be a Wayland throw-in around the 40-yard line. It's going to be thrown to Rainville. It's going to be crossed. Good attempt, but it's going to find a Grafton boot, and it will go out of the end line for a corner kick. So first corner of the game for either squads, as I believe that is, but Wayland's going to take the kick, going to cross it into the box. It's a good kick. It's up for grabs. Oh.
They had a great chance there. That was a great kick, just couldn't finish.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be another kick for Wayland. Not sure what the holdup is here. Refs are coercing around the penalty box. And
Grafton ball.
Yeah, apparently there was some controversy on who the ball last touched before going out of bounds, and refs overturned the call. So a little frustrating if you're on the Wayland side of things there, but all good.
Is going to be kicked out by senior captain Soph Kling over the Grafton defender.
And the ball's going to find Jill Mealy. She's going to look to the center of the field. It's going to be intercepted by Grafton, headed back by Moran. The ball's going everywhere right now. And it's going to find a Grafton boot back to Wayland. And Wayland's going to gain control of the ball. It's going to be... It's going to be Marie taking a shot. And, oh, no. Check that. Mealy taking a shot. And that will miss wide right. So, good amount of chances for this Wayland squad, as we said earlier. And you'd have to imagine that by the end of this half, one of them will find the back of the net. Anyways, here's Grafton working up the right side of the field. Makes a defender miss. But then the ball's going to be swallowed up by Wayland. And I believe it's going to be a Grafton throw-in in Wayland territory.
Grafton seems to have calmed down a bit, seem a bit more organized and.
Oh, drop ball. More substitutions for Grafton and Wayland here as we near the 15-minute mark in this first half. 25 minutes. And I think great defense from both teams. Neither team can really get a neither teams can really get a passing attack going right now, but we'll see what the second half has in store. As Umuna's gonna try to get it out of Wayland territory. Grafton left wing working on Moran. He's gonna go back and forth, sends it up the left sideline. And I believe that is going to go out of the end line for for a goal kick. Just want to get, this is our this is our first Wayland Sports broadcasting broadcast of girls soccer this year, and we will also have another one on senior night. So please stay tuned for that one. This Grafton's gonna have it in the back of their field. They're gonna pass it deep right. It's gonna be fought. It's gonna be fought for around the 40-yard line, and a Grafton defender is gonna boot it to Wayland. Back to Grafton. She's gonna stay with it. She's gonna cross it into the net, and that would be back
Great
down.
save by McQuilkin there. Saving a goal, keeping it at 0-0. McQuilkin's gonna boot it out to midfield, and it's gonna be corralled by Grafton. Kicked back. Grafton with control. Keeping it on their defensive side of the ball, back to the goalie. Back out to the defense as they're finally moving upfield. Feed into the middle and back to the defender, just keeping the ball on their defensive side. Up to the right side of the field, midfielders making a run. Feed to the middle and taken by Wayland.
He's got a little chippy around the Wayland 30-yard line, and it will result in a free kick for Wayland.
Freshman Olivia Umina boosts it out to about midfield. Number 9 Geronimo gets the ball, leads it forward, keeps it in. It's out of bounds. Grafton ball. Ball rolls out of bounds once again. Grafton ball. Going to throw it in and kick it forward. That's going to go near the end line. Kept in by Grafton and taken by Wayland in a bit of a chippy play there. Wayland defender Melander slips. Grafton takes control of the ball, kicks it back to the middle, and taken back by Wayland.
It was Katie White on the
Grafton
deflection
keeps
there.
the ball back to middle and saved by McQuilkin. Another great save. Keeping the game 0-0. Pretty good game right now. Seem like two equal squads. They're both going at it.
And I mean, this is the way the rankings are right now. This is the type of team that Wayland would be playing if the playoffs ended today. You know, somewhere in that low 20s ranking. So I think it's a very good test for them. And we can see that both teams' rankings are they correlate to their skill level, because this game has been back and forth, opportunities here and there, and neither team has struck net yet, but you've got the feeling that it's impending soon, as Umina is going to take the free kick, and it's going to be headed out by a Grafton defender. Umina's going to grab her own ball back, work down the field. It's going to be back to White, work down the right sideline as Mealy. Mealy's going to cross it back in. Grafton luckily gets it out there, as that was as Wayland was in a position of menace there. And Wayland's going to kick it back to McQuilkin. A little bit of. And yeah, going back to what we were saying last time, the Grafton defenders just weren't in any position. Grafton attackers, just weren't in any position to make a run there. They were offsides by 5 yards. So a little bit of lazy attacking on their side. But regardless, Grafton's going to have the ball at midfield. They're going to huck it up to the right sideline. It's going to be snuffed out by White. And it's going to
Accidentally kicks it out of our end line, and Grafton's going to have a corner here. Let's hope that Wayland can recover and get this out of here.
as more Grafton substitutions will come on, impending this corner, which will be Grafton's first corner of the game. It would spread out very wide as all of them make a rush into the box. And it's going to be deflected out by Moran, and eventually Middlestat's going to clear it to the Wayland sideline. The ball's going to be won back by Wayland and then deflected out of bounds by Grafton for a Wayland throw-in. So 8 minutes remain in this first half, which has been as even as we could have asked for, as we take a timeout and each team will regroup and make adjustments going into the last couple minutes of the second half. First half. As Coach Dioratius, we were just talking about, see him giving his players some adjustments.
Yes, and this is Coach D's first year as the Wayland girls soccer head coach, but he's been coaching for the Revolution Youth for many years, so he's a lot of experience in the soccer field and seems to be leading the girls to a good season.
And Wayland's going to break the huddle here. Grafton's going to do the same. And we're going to resume play in this first half of Wayland versus Grafton. And play resumes with the Wayland throw-in. Grafton's going to throw it in. Working back to one of their right backs and eventually their center back. And keeps locking them down, so. Be too much juice on them, and they're finding either the end line. A lot of connections on either side. One's gonna force the ball up to Grafton's side of the field. Umina works on the Grafton defender. Grafton has control of the ball. They'll send a through ball down to their left wing. She'll work. She'll cut it back. It'll be intercepted. It'll be, I believe that's Middlestat who's going to clear it up the field. As the ball's going to go out of bounds for a Wayland throw-in. As immediately shows for Melander. Melander throws it.
Good feed just over the attackman's head. And Grafton's going to take control, feed it ahead to their attacker, and kicked out by McQuilkin. Grafton still with control. Wayland tips it out, and Middlestat feeds it forward, up out of bounds.
Grafton's throw-in's gonna
Completely whiffed by number 10, but number 7 recovers for her. And Grafton has control at midfield, kicks it forward, and offsides, Wayland ball. That was close. Could have been rough for Wayland there, but good call by the ref.
no VAR in MIAA soccer, unfortunately. So can't go back and review that one, but it definitely was tight.
Olivia Umina with a free kick up to the Grafton side and cleared out by Grafton back to midfield. Grafton feeds it back to their defenseman. Back up to the midfield and intercepted by Wayland. Moran with the pass back to Umina. Feed forward to Rainville, who's going to work on that left side. Going down the left side, beats her defender and kicked out of bounds Deflected by Grafton and then tipped by Rainville out of bounds. Just under 5 minutes left here in the first half. Still 0-0, pretty tight game. Grafton with the ball on their side of the field. Right now, feeding it up and intercepted by Wayland. Ball's loose in midfield. Corralled by Grafton, pass up to the attackman. Good feed by Grafton up to their attackman. Shot on goal. Ooh. Misses. Tipped by McQuilkin. And Grafton regains control of the ball. On the sideline. Throw in to number 2 on Grafton. Or number 7, feeds it in the middle and intercepted by Wayland. Oh, kicked out of bounds on our end line. Grafton corner here.
Yeah, a little slip up right in front of net there. That could have been a whole lot worse, but only thing that comes of it is a Grafton corner. So, and she's going to get the ball out quick to her left wing.
Who shoots it 30 yards out, barely soars over the net. Would have been saved by McQuilkin. Nice shot, regardless.
Wayland's throw-in is going to be battled for and eventually tipped out of bounds by Stacey Rentmore.
Grafton ball, feed in. Number 6 with the ball. Intercepted by Moran. Kick forward to Rainville, who has control. Feeds it back to Olivia Umina, who feeds it forward, and intercepted by Grafton.
Big chance there by Wayland as Rainville's deflection just dribbles out of bounds as Grafton will have a throw in their own territory. Let's try that again. As Grafton has the ball in their own half, pushes the ball up the left sideline. It's gonna find their left winger, and Melander's gonna
Good play
stuff
by
out the
Melander
attack.
there. Take control of the ball and keep it in bounds.
And the ball's gonna go off the head of O'Neill for another Grafton throw-in. Grafton has it in the back of their field, lobbed up to their attackers. Gonna make a move on the top of the box, gonna take a shot.
It's going to soar right. Grafton seemed to have taken some control here in the back half of the first. But Wayland's keeping him out of the net, which is what's important. So hopefully Wayland can get one down to the Grafton side and put one in before half. Going to half with a lead. And Wayland's pass is deflected. And
that will be
that'll be the
end.
half.
What's up? Well, that's the end of the first half, folks. Still 0-0. As one could have predicted, this game is really soon. And we're going to send it down in a little bit to our field reporter, Mikey Johansson, to get a bit of a closer sense of the game for all of our viewers.
Hi, this is Mikey Johansson of Wayland Sports Broadcasting. This is our second day in a row of broadcasting. I'm here to give you a recap of last night's football game against Waltham. Wayland beat Waltham 31-0, improving the record to 5-1, along with the freshman team being 5-1 and the JV team being 4-1, playing Waltham on Monday. Offensively, Max Resins led the way, rushing for 122 yards and 1 touchdown, and Michael Caulfield rushed for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the receiving end, Max Resins had 1 reception for 60 yards and a touchdown. Owen Finnegan had 2 receptions for 37 yards. Jamie Buffum had 1 reception for 14 yards, and Luke DiPietro-Froyo had 1 reception for 4 yards. On the defensive end, Donovan Mason led the way with 1 tackle and an interception. Jaden Kaufman had a tackle and a sack. Owen Finnegan had 4 tackles and an interception. Peyton Moran had 2 tackles. Brady Licklider had 3 tackles. John Chouse had 3.5 tackles and 2 sacks. Max Resins had 2.5 tackles. James Buffum had 3.5 tackles and 1 sack. On the kicking end, Dylan Englehart was perfect, going 4 for 4 and hitting a 29-yard field goal. Next week, Wayland heads to Bedford to play for the league championship and hopefully to beat them. That's it. Back to you, Michael and Luke in the studio.
Yeah, that's our insight from the Wayland football team's massive win over Waltham last night, and going into a huge game against Bedford next week.
If you guys watched that game last night, you'll know that a Waltham defender broke his arm, had to have an ambulance come, but you'll be glad to hear that we saw him here today. He's doing well. He's getting surgery tomorrow, I believe, so good luck to him. And he's also a junior, so hopefully, he'll have his senior year to bounce back, but that always sucks.
Yeah, no, injuries, worst part of any sport in general. And one of the members of this girls' soccer team knows that better than almost anybody. Jackie Rainville actually tore her ACL last year towards the beginning of the season. And even at the start of this season, was on time management to work her way back into the swing of things. But now the Williams commit seems fully ready for the next couple games in these playoffs, as she's been in at attack pretty much the entire game, and she's creating a lot of chances for this Wayland offense. As throughout the whole season, she has 1 goal and a team high 5 assists, and leads the team in overall points. So a very crucial piece of this offense.
The leading goal scorer for Wayland is senior Zoe Middlestad with 4 goals on the season thus far. She's a Bates commit, and then Jackie Rainville is committed to Williams, as well as Maeve Moran, who is committed to Union. Union seems to be scooping up all the Wayland athletes, with Jane Tardif for lacrosse and Braden Licklider also for lacrosse. So shout out to them.
And like I mentioned earlier, boys soccer kicks off in a little over 10 minutes in Ashland. So after the result of this game, we'll hopefully try to find out the score after halftime for all of you viewing out there. As both teams ranked in the upper half of their respective divisions. fighting for, the highest playoff spot possible, but also a home playoff game, which in soccer, sorry about that, folks. In soccer, 32 teams make the playoffs, and all top 16 have a home game. So Wayland just on the cusp right now. So any win or loss can alter that. For boys, they're ninth, so they're a little bit more secure. But anything can happen, especially with soccer having a couple of tough matchups the next couple of weeks. So
Yeah, if playoffs were to start today, Wayland girls would be playing Whitman Hanson Regional High School. So don't know much about them. Don't even know where they're from, but would probably be a pretty good matchup, 16 versus 17.
Going to be right here at Warrior Stadium. But yeah, looking forward to this second half of play. Seeing what team can finally crack the net here. I think I want to say Grafton probably, because they had that surge at the end, has one or two more attempts on goal. But ultimately, these goalies haven't been tested too much today. So we'll see. It's been a pretty clean game so far as well. Not a whole lot of chippiness. Pretty fair game for, calm Saturday morning, and the game's reflecting that. But, I think the second half always brings out more emotions in any game, and that proved true for the Wayland football game last night, as a lot of unsportsmanlike and personal fouls on both sides were called. This game seems a little bit more, how do I want to say? Seems a little bit more a little bit more organized, a lot more respect in this game. But we'll see. You never know what the second half will unveil. So as Grafton makes adjustments, as you can see on the field right there. You can also see, I don't know what's in the back there. Looks like another maybe youth soccer.
That's JV girls soccer back in the
never mind.
wetlands back there. You got to be wondering what Wayland's talking about in the huddle. Coach D is a Duke alum, so he's got some smarts, but hopefully they're putting together a game plan to help them get this win.
Breach.
It looks like the JV game, both teams may have accidentally worn the same color, so one team is wearing pink pennies is what it looks like. Good thing they got that figured out.
Or are those? They do look like pennies. I was wondering if maybe they put the JV in the Varsity's special pink jerseys, but they have pink jerseys. Someone's trying to tell me they don't have pink jerseys, but I know they do.
They have Kicks for Cancer pink jerseys.
No, they have regular. Oh, they had. Do you not remember that last year? They wore them last year. Maybe that was a dream. But anyway, I don't think they would give the JV them. Anyway. But both teams are gonna make it out to center field to start this second half. 40 minutes for each team to aid their playoff chances. or hurt them. So Alonji will stand in the middle of the orange W to kick us off at the ref's whistle. And second half action has already started. Rainville makes a run up the left sideline. It's going to be a lob up to her, which is going to be deflected out of bounds by Grafton, resulting in a Wayland throw-in. Rainville's going to fight for the ball. It's going to go over the Grafton defender's heel, and it's going to result in another Wayland throw-in. Millie has the ball. Slow roller to Middlestat. She'll be intercepted. Middlestat sends a nice pass to the right winger. She's going to cross it in. It's going to be up for grabs. Still anybody's ball. Alonji fights for it, and it's eventually picked out of bounds.
Wayland with the
by
really good
Grafton.
chance there.
They came out of the half swinging, and I'm sure that was one of the adjustments.
Still have controlled the ball. Feed in by Melander to Middlestat. Back out to Umina. Shot on goal, and saved by Grafton goalie.
Grafton will make a run up the left sideline. That'll be snuffed out. Or not. As they regain control of the ball. Lumina with the pressure. And will result in a Wayland goal kick. So Grafton's attack there ends very quickly in another Wayland goal kick. As Ironman's going to fight for the ball, that's going to be intercepted by Grafton.
Feeds it in the middle, saved by McQuilkin. Could have been bad there.
Umina and Ironman, or Unima and Jacquez, correction, had a little bit of a miscommunication there, but it seems they've worked it out pretty quickly. Ball's going to be through to Alonji, who's going to put a nice touch pass to Middlestat, who's going to get it to Mealy.
And deflected by Grafton. Back to Grafton midi.
Nice tackle by
Good
Umina.
tackle.
And she's going to
And
be
Umina's tripped. No call somehow. And Grafton feeds it back up to the Wayland side. It's a good run. Grafton strikers there. And another save by McQuilkin. Good positioning. Good defense by Wayland to get the ball back. Ball is back into the Grafton side. Wayland with control. Middlestat with the ball. Putting some moves on. And soaring it up over the net out of bounds.
I believe yet another offsides call on Grafton. Which will result in a Wayland free kick. Zoom in. Boots it up into Grafton territory. Rainville gets possession back. And the ball is eventually kicked out of bounds for another Wayland throw-in. That'll be Jacquez getting it into Rainville. And the ball is cleared out yet again by Grafton. Grafton's going to take a shot, and it's going to be
Deflected out of bounds by senior Katie White. Going to be another kick by goalie Annie McQuilkin. Oh, actually, a corner kick for Grafton. Pardon me. And they switched the call. Gonna be Wayland ball here.
after intercepting the goal kick. Grafton is pushing up the field and eventually going to be fouled by Moran, the Union commit, and here comes the Grafton free kick. As Amelie Middlestat in Rainville make a wall to defend the kick, soars over them. And eventually the danger is cleared out by Wayland. Oh, and Wayland's going to make a nice run until Alonji is tripped up near middle field, and Grafton's counterattack pushing through the left side, and another shot taken, deflected by Wayland. And I believe that's Jacquez who cleared the ball out of bounds. Intercepted by Rainville, and Grafton's going to cross it back into the middle of the field.
Another good stop by the Wayland defense. Clears it back out to midfield, where Yumna is moving up the field.
Wayland's working in Grafton territory. It'll be a Grafton throw-in. And now it's going to be a Wayland throw-in. Alonji works it up the left sideline, cuts it back, makes some defender miss. Ooh, tripped up there, and that will be a foul.
Good call by the ref right there. Wayland in good position here to put the ball in the net. Hopefully they can do so and take the lead.
Alonji's going to send it into the
Alonji
box.
centers it.
Ooh.
Good attempt there. Wayland just couldn't finish. Grafton clears it back out to midfield and is kicked out of bounds by White. Grafton defender was just bodied. Another one.
Nice. Grafton's working up the left side, and she's going to keep it in bounds. Never mind. It'll be a Wayland throw-in deep into their own territory. That will be another Wayland goal kick. So 12 minutes into the second half. Not a whole lot of action. Kind of like the first half, where Wayland actually went on a surge around the 28-minute mark. So
A
pardon the
B
bug.
is in the screen right there.
Keep up right now as the ball is headed back and forth, but Grafton is then going
And
to
Grafton kicks
the
out of
ball
bounds
out.
for no reason. Wayland ball. Throw in deflected by Grafton. Back to Wayland. And deflected off Jacquez out of bounds for a Grafton ball. We have a special guest here right now. A few of the soccer players may know him. Cole Chase. Welcome, Cole. We also have another guest, Braden Licklighter, and a third one, Paul Lang. They must have some connection to the soccer team to be here. And then Grafton keeping the ball on the Wayland side.
Ooh, big
Good
tackle
play by White. Grafton defender got to stay on her feet there. Don't flop.
"26 minutes to go here, folks." As Wayland's free kick. As Wayland's free kick's gonna find a Grafton midfielder. As Jacquez is gonna send it back to McQuilkin.
And that goes
And
out of the end line for a Grafton corner. Hopefully Wayland can keep this out of the net.
Grafton attackers make a run as the kick is booted into the box. Headed to the right. back to the original corner taker. Good
defensive
cross,
play to
but
get it out of there. Just clear that out. Oh, header by Grafton. Nearly enters the net. Sails a bit right. Lucky break for Wayland there. They're going to need to get some offensive attack going here if they want to win this game. Grafton seems to have taken some control back.
And that'll be yet another Grafton throw-in. So the ball's been in Wayland's territory for a long time now. I believe that was going to be the third Grafton throw-in a row at the same spot. So hopefully there's not a fourth as the ball's skied up.
Ball continues to stay in Wayland territory. Grafton keeping control. And Wayland finally gains control of the ball as a Grafton midfielder sails it out of bounds.
Jacko's throw to Kilman is intercepted by Grafton. And
Wayland clears it out into the Grafton side. Grafton defenders take the ball back, feeding it back and forth to each other and back to their keeper, who's going to feed it back out to their defender as they move upfield. Grafton with a good feed upfield, and the attackman can't control it. Kicks it out of the end line. Wayland goal kick.
Grafton's presence in the Wayland territory stays as Kilman attempts to clear it out. Alonji gets the ball back into Grafton territory, but not for long as the through ball gets the orange W. Ooh, ball's popped up for Grafton, and yet
Another offsides. Grafton can't get one through.
It's either these refs are being real picky or Grafton's timing on their runs are just not there right now. And that's something you would expect from a playoff caliber team such as this one. So, but they're gonna work it up the left sideline here. And there's going to be a shot.
Soar it right over the goal once again. Wayland's getting some lucky breaks here. They really need to step it up, keep the ball on their offensive side of the ball, and try and get some shots going their way.
Corner's gonna find nobody. It's gonna be popped up into the air, and the attempt is going to sail out of bounds for a McQuilkin goal kick. Grafton yet again sends the ball into Wayland territory. It's going to be handled by White.
Correction, Melander, who keeps it in bounds, gets back into Wayland possession, but then is kicked out of bounds. Grafton ball. Grafton then kicks it out of bounds, and Wayland has control of the ball at midfield. Throw in up to the Grafton territory, but intercepted by Grafton and regained. Ball rolls near the Grafton goal, but they kick it out of bounds. Wayland ball up in Grafton territory. Hopefully they can do something with it. Good feed into Middlestat. And Grafton intercepts it, kicks it out. As Wayland takes it back, and just misses.
Geronimo works the ball up the right wing, but as after the goal kick, Grafton will work the ball up the right sideline as Wayland pressures. Ball's tossed up into the middle of the field to Middlestat. Back to Umina, who's going to give the ball up to Grafton. As McQuilkin there to clear it yet again. Grafton was in a position to make something happen, and after Katie White deflects the ball out of bounds, I believe he tests Grafton defender last, so it will be a it will be a Wayland throw-in. So it goes from Wayland throw-in to Grafton throw-in very quickly as Grafton works the ball.
Good defensive stop by Melander there, and then Umina kicks it off the Grafton defender out of bounds for a Wayland possession, and a timeout is called.
So second half, definitely quieter than the first so far. It could be that these two teams just, their defenses are really clicking today, and the offense is not so much. Especially waking up for a morning game. I think the strategies that offenses use in soccer, you need a lot of energy because you're out there for 80 minutes, the whole game, making runs, and so I think, and as you can see there.
As you can see there, we have our field camera producers, Joe Dearden and Jack Naughton, with the cameras down in the field that are allowing us to see the better in-depth views of the game. And then also our producer, Mr. Coach P, the head football coach, and helping us run this whole production. So, yeah. already, and the game's going to resume here as some clowns in the production room are doing some weird things. Hopefully they can figure it out. Might be their first time, I'm not sure. Yep, our producer, Coach P, is going to get that figured out for us.
As the bug makes another appearance on the screen. Love to see it. Let's go, Wayland. 15 minutes left in the second half. Let's make something happen. Wayland's pushing the ball upfield. He had another throw in.
And there's the bug blocking our view. But ball's in Grafton territory, and Wayland kicks up to the goalie, who takes control.
Ooh.
And almost
stolen by
way out of the
Larson
net.
Oh, and a big chance by Wayland. It's still up for grabs as Milstat works it. Looking for a body.
Good feed.
It's Mealy. Passes it back to Milstat as she's doubled
Milstat,
by
good move.
defenders. She works out of the double team.
Shot!
And
Sails
that's gonna
over the
sail.
net. Almost a field goal right there. Through the field goal post. Could have been 3 points.
As Dylan Engelhart actually last night scored his second.
Here's a replay
second
of the
field goal.
shot on goal here. Sails a little bit high over the net. Nonetheless, good shot. Good offensive possession there by Wayland. And hopefully they can keep that going, put one in the net.
Yeah, but I think that'll spark a little motivation in this Wayland team to force the ball upfield because, as you can see there, that opportunity came quick.
Good feed
Larson
into the
has
middle.
The ball in the middle, still working
Can't be
with it.
corralled.
Back to Mealy.
Back to
Mealy's
Mealy.
gonna take a
Shot.
Shot. Ooh.
Saved by the goalie. Wayland seems to be much more aggressive coming out of the timeout, playing well. And if we can get a replay there on that shot.
And that's a replay of that shot.
Pretty solid
there.
shot, saved by the goalie.
Solid save.
Replay thanks to our on-field cameramen, Joe Dearden and Jack Naughton.
Yeah, what would we do without him? I really don't know. As the ball's tossed up to Kilman. Kilman's going to get there. She's going to work on the Grafton defender. She's tossing for the ball. And I believe a little...
Kilman is not happy with the no call,
A couple words.
but ball is still in Wayland possession. Near the Grafton corner. Hopefully they can get one into the middle here and put it in the net.
I think Wayland's making a couple substitutions before this crucial throw in here.
Ball is passed in, deflected out by Grafton defender. Another Wayland throw-in.
He's going to find Larson, who's going to kick it back out to Rainville, and the ball's going to roll back to midfield in Grafton's territory yet again.
People falling all over the place right now. But ball's kicked out of bounds by Wayland. Grafton ball at midfield. As Grafton makes some substitutions here.
Well, this rematch of last season's game is much closer than how last year's game went, as Grafton defeated Wayland 3-0 in the regular season. Which goes to show you, you know, how much better Wayland is playing this year, and it shows with the much higher playoff ranking as well. But
If this is another tie, this will be Wayland's 5th tie game of the season, tying other teams such as AB, who's a top competitor in D1. So they've played some good competition and been able to hold their own And if they can come away with a win here, that would be awesome.
And Middlestat scored a 30-yard rocket.
Bang!
To put the Wayland Warriors up 1-0.
Wayland's leading scorer, Zoe Middlestat, with her 5th goal of the season. Absolute shot from deep. Put Wayland up with less than 15 minutes to go.
And just like that, all the momentum just shifted to Wayland. Huge goal with 12 minutes left to go in the game.
They needed that for sure. Grafton feeds it up to midfield. Zed is kicked out of bounds by Grafton with Human on the defense. And Grafton regains control.
As Grafton's going to put it into Wayland territory. McQuilkin's going to slide.
Good play by McQuilkin.
And luckily the ball, it backspins through the end line for, I believe, a Wayland goal kick. So, way to escape the danger there. As McQuilkin's going to get White to tie her shoe for her. Because I would imagine tying shoes with goalie gloves on isn't a easy task. So it's good to have defenders that'll do that for you. As Umina's gonna send it up the right sideline. Grafton's gonna regain control, and it's booted out by Jacquez for another Grafton corner kick. Grafton's going to cross it into the box. It's going to find a head of a Grafton attacker, but ultimately sail over the crossbar and
the goal had to be adjusted.
That's our bad. We set the goals up this morning, so apparently they were not up to McQuilkin's standards. And the ball is going to be skied over to the left sideline. River's going to charge in. And Mealy's going to charge up the left sideline. Lots of green grass in front of her.
The D1 lacrosse commit streaking down the field, keeping control of the ball, feeding it to the middle, where it's intercepted by a Grafton defender. Grafton kicks the ball off of Mealy's face out of bounds. Good call by the ref there. Grafton pushing, being chippy.
Chipper.
Like chipper.
So it'll be Olivia Umina with the free kick. Send it over to Larson.
Tipped up by the Grafton defender. And headed out of bounds by Grafton. Wayland ball in Grafton territory.
It's going to be intercepted by Rainville. Kicked by Moran into the middle of the field. And the through ball by Grafton. Is sent back to McQuilkin by White. And I believe the call will be on Wayland. Resulting in a Grafton free kick. So 7 minutes left in the second half. Grafton's got to go heavy on attacking to try to get this to an even ball game. But it's not going to be easy as the Wayland defense has shut them out all game.
One of our on-field producers, Benham Hessenfar, coming in after doing some good work out there.
What would we do without him?
Don't know if this show would be able to run without our on-field producer, Benham. So thank you to him for his hard work today. And hopefully, Wayland can close this game out with the win as Grafton feeds it in. And corner for Grafton. Hopefully Wayland can keep this out of the net here.
Miss free kick.
Our live stream game clock is about 50 seconds ahead of the real scoreboard, so just keep that in mind. Our producers are adjusting it. Thank you to Benham for that. And there we go. Now we're all matched up. Thank you to the guys. Joe Deeren for that.
As the Grafton's attack is snuffed out by McQuilkin. And she will eat up as much time as possible as she looks for a Wayland player to send the ball to. Larson has the ball in the middle of the field. It'll be scooped up by Grafton. Saddle, send it back to the Grafton center back, who will send it to her right wing.
Who turns it over to Jack Wes. Lead up to Rainville. Rainville coming down the field, beating a bunch of Grafton defenders. And kicks it right behind the net.
A replay of that pretty good run. Going to come up, but ultimately Rainville's momentum is too much and the ball went out of bounds. And I think it's a different bug.
Might be a hornet this time.
But yeah, Grafton will have a free kick with 4 minutes to go.
It looks like Bowen's on the screen right now. Oh, he just fell off.
And the ball will be kicked up by Grafton, and it'll eventually scatter out of bounds for a Grafton throw-in. And you've got to think this will probably be one of Grafton's, if not last chance, to even this game up. So, So since it is under 5 minutes to go, the clock stops, and whatever extra time is added on, whatever the refs choose to add on is added on, and we play with no clock.
So the scoreboard on the screen is not going to be accurate as of now.
The ball's through to Jackie Rainville. She's going to take a shot on net, and that one
Through the uprights.
is that one is sent over the crossbar as we get another look at it. Just a little bit too much loft there. Would have been the dagger in this game, but Grafton still has life.
Regardless, still a good shot by Rainville. Almost put it in.
So Grafton's going to push it up to midfield. You have to think this is a crucial chance as the ball is over the head of White. And a Grafton attacker. And it's up for grabs. There's no goal. And
Grafton misses.
And she went near post and just the wrong angle.
Brutal.
Heartbreak.
Had a great chance.
Heartbreak for
Couldn't
Grafton.
put it in.
Was
And a
here on
Grafton
goal.
player's down on the field. Hopefully she's all right.
Yeah, after the collision with McQuilkin on the slide tackle, I think Grafton attacker's a little shooken up.
Trainer Katie and the Grafton coach come out to make sure she's okay. So hopefully she's all right. We're just going to run back through some of Whalen's shots on goal here. That one just over the net.
And the Grafton, although not shown on screen right now, that Grafton attacker is up and walking off the field.
Hopefully
So,
she's all right.
yeah, no, lots of shots on net today, but the one that proved ultimately mattering was Millstat's shot from 25 yards out. And the Bates commit put the Warriors up 1-0, and they haven't looked back since. So hopefully Wayland can close it out as McQuilkin fields that through ball. And you have to think, even with the injury, extra time is almost up. But here comes Rainville down the left sideline, trying to get some
Control.
insurance. She's gonna
Another
take a
shot. May have been deflected by a Grafton defender there.
You're gonna see the replay. I believe
Sails it just right.
she's overcompensating for her miss to the left a couple minutes ago. She's got to find a middle ground as Stacey Rentmore's pressure is going to cause the Grafton defender to kick the ball out of bounds, which will result in a Wayland throw-in. Millstat has control of the ball. Passes it back to Umina. Rentmore's going to get the ball stolen, and eventually it's going to roll out of bounds for a Grafton throw-in. Grafton tosses the ball up. Solid ball.
Good defense by Whalen there.
It's in control of Grafton on the right sideline. Whalen's got to get back on defense. As a bit of a collision there with Jacquez and the Grafton right wing is, I believe, going to end in a Grafton free kick around the 10-yard line.
You have to think this extra time is coming to a close, so this could be Grafton's one of Grafton's last chances, if not last chance, to put the ball in net and tie the game here.
Crosses into the box. And
it is kicked out of bounds by Wayland. Good defensive play.
And that is the end of the Grafton versus Wayland soccer match. Wayland is victorious, taking down number 21st ranked Grafton in a tight game.
Great win for Wayland. After losing to Grafton the past 2 years, this has got to feel good for the seniors and the juniors on the team.
And here's that last free kick for Grafton. As you can see, Grafton had a chance, just went over the head of 11, and just didn't end up clicking for Grafton today, as they'll go home with the loss, and Wayland goes home with the W.
So thank you for tuning in to our game, and we will have an interview with Benham Hessenfar down on the field.
My name's Benham, and I'm here with Zoe Middlestead, the senior captain. And Zoe, I was just wondering, what did you guys do differently in practice to prepare for this moment?
We've been practicing really hard. We practiced a lot of through balls, and we've worked on our finishing and just working hard in practice.
Got you. And how are you feeling after that winning goal?
I'm feeling really happy. Grafton has beat us in the playoffs for 2 years, so it's good to beat them. Home game.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Back to the studio.
Zoe Middlestad's goal ultimately won Wayland this game. And as you can see, this is our crew.
So thank you to them for putting together a great production, and thank you for tuning in.
All right, this has been Wayland Sports broadcast of the Wayland versus Grafton girls soccer match.
This is Luke and Michael signing off.